Now, class 9, today the chapter is the Delhi Sultanate. Now, spread of it today, the new chapter. I am starting a new chapter, the Delhi Sultanate. Chapter 9. The Islamic culture was introduced in India by the Arabs who entered India as traders and later made their settlements on the western coast of India. In Gujarat, they received liberal protection from the Hindu rulers, and the zamindars of Calicut patronized the Arab traders. Zamarin of Calicut. Okay. In the beginning of the 8th century AD, the Arabs under Muhammad bin Qasim conquered the Indian territories of Sindh and Multan. Their victories were short-lived because of the death of Muhammad bin Qasim in 716 AD. But the Arabs could have a really intimate knowledge of Indian astronomy, numericals, and other branches of knowledge, which according to Havel they carried to Europe. Now, foundation of the Turkish rule in India. Muhammad of Ghazni made several invasions in India. In India, Muhammad of Ghazni made several invasions. He ruled many cities including Mathura, Kanuj, Gwalior and Somnath. Now, so who made several invasions in India? Muhammad of Ghazni. This is the foundation of the Turkish rule in India. Now, he carried away Indian rich treasures to his country. The foundation of the Turkish rule in India was laid by Muhammad Ghori, who was the founder of the Turkish rule in India. If the question comes, all of my students pay attention. The foundation of the Turkish rule in India was laid by Muhammad Ghori. Now, B87 page. What are the places he fought? With whom? What are the places where he fought and with whom he fought? Now read from book. Now B88. Muhammad Ghori, who died in 1206, left no male heir to succeed him. Muhammad Ghori, he died in 1206. He left no male heir to succeed him. Qutbuddin Aibak laid the foundation of the Delhi Sultanate under a new dynasty, popularly known as the slave dynasty. Now question comes, if the question comes, who led the slave dynasty? Qutbuddin Aibak laid the foundation of the Delhi Sultanate under a new dynasty, popularly known as the slave dynasty. From 1206 to 1526, as many as 5 dynasties. How many dynasties? As many as 5 dynasties ruled over the Delhi Sultanate. Now, next question. Sources to reconstruct the Delhi Sultanate. Sources to reconstruct the history of Delhi Sultanate. Literary sources. Tariq-e-Firzahi authored Ziauddin Barbani. Actually, these are the literary sources. Prithviraj Rashu, authored by Chand Baradi. Writings of Minaraj as-Siraj. Barani's work starts with the accession of Balban in 1266 and comes down to the 6th year of the reign of Firaj Tughlaq. Chand Bardi was the court poet of Prithviraj Chauhan, a great soldier and the ruler of Ajmer and Delhi. He defeated Chandala king. We find in Prithviraj Rashu an interesting account of Prithviraj deeds of valor and of love. Even Batuta, a foreign traveler, reached Sindh in 1333 AD and spent many years at the court of Muhammad Tughlaq. He has left an interesting account of India of his time. Archaeological sources. There are many archaeological sources to know the religion, language, art, and social and political conditions of India in those days. Monuments. the Sultans of Delhi built a massive and magnificent structure. One of the magnificent architectural structure belonging to the period of Delhi Sultans is Qutub Minar. Now, the construction of Minar, who was the founder who constructed the Qutub Minar? The construction of Minar was started by Qutubuddin Aibak in 1199 AD. When he was the viceroy of Muhammad Ghori, it was completed by Iltutmish in 1230. Now, Qutub Minar. It is situated in Delhi. It received its name from Qutubuddin, a Muslim saint of Ush near Baghdad. Its main features are as follows. It is a circular tower which rises to a height of 72.5 meters. The description of Qutub Minar, very important. And who was the founder of Qutub Minar? Who constructed Qutub Minar? Now, number one, the description. It is a circular tower which rises to a height of 72.5 meters. Number two, it has 5 stories tapering as they ascend, tapering as they ascend and separated from each other by projecting balconies. 3. The entrance to the tower is through the doorway on the northern side. Inside there is a spiral stairway leading up to each balcony. 4. Red sandstone, marble and grey quartzite were used to construct the tower, which is the highest stone tower in India. Number 5. There are many writings carved into Qutub Minar. Floral motifs, that is flower, images, etc. are also engraved in this tower. Now, inscription. The mosque, the tombs, the minars, palaces and other buildings were engraved with decorative lettering. These inscriptions, mostly in Persian, are a valuable source to reconstruct political, social and religious history of the age of Delhi Sultans. So inscriptions plays a very, very important role to reconstruct the history of the Delhi Sultanate. The Hindu structure have inscriptions in Sanskrit as well as in Hindi. There are writings carved into Qutub Minar also. As pieces of historical evidence, the inscriptions have significant merit. Now, number 1, the Peoha inscription of the Pratihara king Mahendrapala suggests that Delhi was founded in 736 AD by the Thomaras, a clan of the Rajput. It mentions that the Thomaras ruled over the Haryana region of Dillika as their capital. Number 2, Serban inscription found in the village Serban, South Delhi, contains a brief account of the history of Delhi until the reign of Muhammad Tughlaq. 1325-1315. 3. Inscription in Sanskrit, Arabic, Persian and a few other languages speak of linguistic synthesis and the spirit of harmony and cooperation between the people of India. Now, number 4. Inscription in temple, mosques and other structures speak about endowments and gifts of religious and charitable institutions. So inscriptions and the literary sources, these are very, very important, and also the archaeological sources. These are very important sources to reconstruct the history of the slave dynasty. And in the beginning I told you the spread of Islam in India and the early conquest of the Arabs and foundation of the Turkish rule in India. My students, today up till this, next day I will start from the slave dynasty. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Okay, see you in my next class. Okay.